greetings ladies and gentlemen, Adrian here. Welcome back to the channel and to my ongoing coverage and review of Bless Online. Now, I'm sure you know this past week I haven't done anything for Bless in terms of video content, and I didn't even do my live stream this past Sunday. There's a reason for that, guys. I had to take a week off from gaming in general and just work. I've been covering E3, the entirety of E3, watching all the live streams, which takes place after midnight in my time for work, and now that that's over, it's time to get back to Bless. So while I didn't do any hardcore leveling or questing this past week, I haven't exactly been idle. I've been trying very hard to get into the Peninsular War, which is the PvP RVR 15 versus 15 battleground that Bless Online currently has. And I tried jumping in 4 different days: Thursday, Friday, Monday, and tonight, and finally I got in tonight. As you guys already know, Peninsular War only has 3 windows, and each window you only have an hour to queue, and if the game does not pop a match in that hour, then you're gonna have to wait until the next window opens. Now again, it's gonna be different in your time zone. For me, it is 6 AM, 11 AM, and 2 AM. I finally got into the 2 AM one, but it was a 45-minute wait. So I'm going to be sharing my experiences with the Peninsular War PvP. Firstly, you guys know I am a paladin, and our specialty is of course to heal. We are the only healing class in Bless Online at the moment because the Mystic is not in yet. So the first thing I had to do was go into the store and buy a second tactic. To do this, you just go to the store and buy one of those tactic unlock scrolls for about 900 lumina. And remember, because I purchased a founder's pack, I had about 2,500 laying around. So my first tactic is obviously for my solo DPS questing, and the second one was going to be for healing, either for dungeons or for PvP. So now I finally get to put the paladin's healing to the test. Peninsular War itself takes place in an isolated instance map. It's 15 versus 15, 15 players from Hieron and 15 players from the Union faction go at it. Both factions will have their spawn and res points at 2 of these flags, north and south. There is a timer of 1 hour when the match begins, and the ultimate objective is to hold as many flags as you can to tick your points. Now each faction starts with 0 points, and the first faction to hit 20,000 points wins the match. So obviously, since there's 5 flags, you want to have 1 more than the enemy in order to get your points ticking. So what did I know? I went into my healing mode and off I went with my fellow Union buddies to try and win the game. I gotta say, as far as first impressions go, it was a lot of chaotic fun. As you'd expect, you'll have players from the same guilds queuing together, so expect to be up against, if you're a new player, expect to be up against players who are more coordinated than if you are joining as a pug. Another important thing to note is that this is not going to be equal footing whatsoever. There's no balance here. So if you jump in as a level 32, you stay at level 32. There's no scaling. And if you are up against players who are level 45, well, good luck. That's exactly what happened to me. I was level 40. There was another guy in our party who was level 39, I think. And truth be told, honestly, the 2 of us kind of let our faction down. Not being at the cap and jumping into a Peninsular War PvP match with other players and against players at the level cap is a huge disadvantage because you don't have the gear, and if you are lower than 40, you don't even have a lot of your skills unlocked. Therefore, the faction with the most pugged players of varying levels is at a huge disadvantage and will eventually lose the match, as I've found. The core gameplay with the objectives in the Peninsular War itself, like I said, pretty good chaotic fun because it's all about trying to move together as a herd, which is the term that I see Bless players using a lot, moving together to grab flags and hold the objectives for as long as possible. Now, me being a paladin, I noticed there's lots of other paladins around because, like I said, we are the only healing class, so it's all about who can heal the most, who's got the better mana management system, and which side has the best DPS to outperform and out DPS these paladin heals. As a level 40, 5 levels off the cap, I noticed I was severely gimping my side. I did manage to get in some important heals, especially at the center flag, which is going to be where the main action takes place. but more often than not I was getting my ass kicked, and I totally accept that because at this stage we're almost a month now from launch, and I expect majority of the player base, especially those hardcore PvP type players, will have already hit the level cap and have already enhanced their gear to a very decent level or the top tier. So like I said, as a new player, having just unlocked Peninsular War at level 30, I do not recommend jumping in to play competitively until you are at the level cap, because you'll probably be frustrated a lot, and unless you really just want to check it out and see what it's all about, then go right ahead. And sometimes you may just want to do that because for your daily missions or your weekly missions, you will find some objective that requires you to earn combat points. Now, combat points are just like dungeon points. You earn them for running dungeons, whereas combat points, you earn them for doing PvP. So even on the losing side, I did still get 100 combat points for taking part in Peninsular War. There's no XP rewards for participation whatsoever, and I can't tell you what the rewards are for actually winning a match because it's gonna take me a long time before I actually win a match, so we'll have to wait and see. But otherwise, pretty fun battleground, didn't take more than 15 minutes, and the few downsides that I did encounter was the first being ping and latency. I am playing on a North American server from Southeast Asia, so this is on my part. With a ping of 280, I found most of my skills had a delay, and when you come up against players with very low ping, you're probably gonna die anyway. Besides that, while playing with pugs, the lack of any in-game voice chat is sorely missed, but it's not too bad because you can still coordinate using the in-game chat. And finally, I think you guys know how I feel about Peninsular War being locked behind 3 timed windows. I'm not sure it's a great idea to have your PvP battleground, the only battleground by the way, before the Siege of Castro, whatever comes out, to be locked behind windows, and then it takes a very long time to actually find a group. And during that match, I noticed we weren't even full. We weren't even up to 15 players. We only had 11 players. I don't know how many the opposite faction had, but it tends to create uneven, unbalanced matches. And so that's my quick experience with the Peninsular War. Again, as a new player, I highly recommend jumping in at 45 and preferably with your guild if you guys are competitive, with Discord and other voice chat just to coordinate better. Other than that, we've already talked about open world PvP, which you guys got to see on a stream a week ago. So that leaves me with any other new PvP modes that come out between now and the review, and of course getting to 45 and checking out what the endgame is like. So that's it for me. For those of you playing Bless Online, feel free to share your Peninsular War experiences in the comments section below. And if you've got any helpful hints and tips, leave it there. So hit the like button for more on Bless and MMOs, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more MMO content. Once again, I'm Adrian, and I thank you for watching. Hey, welcome to the end screen. If you've made it this far, it means you've watched the entire video, and I thank you very much for that. If you want to watch more videos, you can click the cards at the bottom here, anyone would do. And you can subscribe to my channel by hitting the big round button here to get notifications on all my latest videos. See you guys in the next video.